Welcome to the first episode of the Pop Culture Podcast. I'm probably going to change background music later. I figured make it sound kind of fun, little 40s jazz music. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about a favorite film of mine, Back to the Future and Back to the Future trilogy. Now, I gotta say, it's a perfect film series. I got no complaints about it. Actually, I do. One thing I would like them to have mentioned in the first film, at least, is how did Marty and Doc get to meet each other? I mean, like, they never show a clip of them running through the halls of, like, high school or something, like he's an old professor or teacher. They're like, hey, Marty, remember that time that you helped me out with that thing in the science class? No, they never did that. So, I mean, I guess it's just kind of weird as a teenager, probably like 17 years old, hanging out with this old elderly man that looks crazy. Oh, sweet. I want to say the music was still going. Alright. Another thing is, how did the technology still work in the 50s? Because there's a clip, spoiler alert, spoiler warning, by the way, if you've never seen Back to the Future, because if you haven't, what are you doing with your life right now? My question is, in the scene when he goes back to the past, he's in the 1950s, he's able to hook up his tape recorder to the TV in the 1950s. Now, how does technology from 1955 become able to connect with technology from 1985? Because I want to say there's some sort of aux cord or something. I don't know if there was an aux cord back then or not. Because that camcorder is able to connect to a 1950s television that had, I guarantee you, had no outlet to connect to that thing. No actual outlet whatsoever. And also, I don't even think they had videotape back then. They actually watched TV. Oh, so they were made in the late 50s. Typically cost them around $50,000 from the looks of it here. So I highly doubt anyone was able to actually afford that back then. So how on earth could those tapes be played? I have no clue. You know, one thing that I hate is everyone saying the DeLorean could never make it up to 88 miles an hour. This is on the actual speedometer, if you look at it. Nobody takes a second to actually look at that. Because when the DeLorean came out, they had a lot of regulations to, save the environment, not burn gas. What they did was they actually lied on the speedometer how fast the car can go. So typically, I want to say that the highest it could go was like 55 or something. It's been a while since I saw the speedometer, but I know in the movie they actually used a fake speedometer to go up to 85. I know in real life, I bet you can get somewhere close to probably 70 something at least. But I bet if you get it good enough track, you modify the engine, I bet that thing can fly. I bet the DeLorean can make up to 88, YouTube, if this goes well, I will buy a DeLorean. I will test this. Send me the check. Send me the check. I'm on the way. I'll do it. Sign me up. I don't care if I lose the money on that investment. I just want to drive a DeLorean. Also, I do have to say, the fact that nobody goes absolutely nuts when he plays Johnny B. Good and does that solo, because they're going nuts when he's playing Johnny B. Good, but when the solo hits, they're in shock, like, huh? What? No, freaking shred, man, freaking shred. Keep it going. I mean, I'll be yelling up that thing. I mean, I don't care if people think that I'm some sort of Satanist, because back in the 50s, oh my God, he's wiggling a finger on stage. Yeah, that's Satan worship. But I gotta say, movie is great. I want to know how did this movie get pitched? That's one thing I really want to know, because there's the aspect of his mom in the past trying to, sleep with her daughter or her son. So I don't know why I said daughter. I mean, did a guy go into the director's office and say, no, the executive's office, and say, hey, I got a movie idea. This kid time travels back in time, and he sees his parents as teens. But yes, I love it. So far, so good. And his mom wants to bone him. Do what? Yeah. In fact, they go ahead and they take his pants off after, he gets hit by the car and gets put in the bedroom and sleep it off. But what? That's gotta be a weird pitch meeting. Probably filming these scenes. They're like, I signed up. Back to the Future 2 was also another great film that they did. I gotta say, one thing that should have caught on, that they should have got inspired from Back to the Future 2, is the cafe where you're able to have celebrities as your waiters. I would love Ronald Reagan to serve me a burger. I would love that. Because I would love to say, hey, I want no tomatoes. And then Ronald Reagan says, Mr. Line Cook, tear down those tomatoes. Hashtag no tomatoes. They have Michael Jackson serve a Coke, because bring back Coke in restaurants. I'm sick and tired of going to every single restaurant in the world, and I'm like, hey, can I get a Coca-Cola? It says, oh, is a Pepsi okay? Well, is a Pepsi okay? I think I asked for a Coke, so of course it's not okay. I don't want a Pepsi, because a Pepsi is watered down Coca-Cola. Put water in Coca-Cola and tell me it doesn't taste like Pepsi. Tell me. You can't. Pepsi is watered down Coca-Cola. After this live stream, after this video, go to the kitchen, get a bottle of Coca-Cola, put one out to the store. Run out to the store, spend $2 or something. Well, $2, like this is the 2000s again. Go spend $5 for a Coca-Cola. Come back, pour it in a glass, and then pour some water in it. Bam, you have Pepsi. You have Pepsi. Do a blind taste test if you want. Anyways, getting off topic. Back to the Future 3 is one of my favorites of the franchise. But here's a question I have. Doc, in Back to the Future 2, is struck by lightning when the DeLorean is flying, and time travels him to 1885. DeLorean is in 1885 with Doc, and Marty takes the DeLorean that's been hidden out in a cave after all these years, and time travels back to 1885 to go save Doc. But the fuel line gets ripped, and there's no gas in that DeLorean. They're like, well, there's no gas around here. We have to find another way. That's the rest of the movie, finding a way to get back to 1985. But here's my thing. The other DeLorean is in that cave. Doc hid in the cave. And I believe the time frame that Marty went back, there would still be gas in that DeLorean. How come they didn't cipher the gas from that, patch up the fuel line in the other DeLorean, and use that one to drive home? I mean, it's not a hard job. I mean, you just go ahead and take the gas tank out, you take the gas out of that, make your own little jerry can, because I'm sure Doc can find a way to do that, and fix up that fuel line by taping it up, or, again, Doc being Doc, finding a way to make his own tape or something. Put it in that, and then, boom, drive across the desert, make it back home. And, not run into a crowd of people. I do find that funny how in time machine movies, they're somehow always in the right place that they want to go to. I mean, in every time machine movie, it never fails. There's like, okay, I'm going to time travel to New York, and I'm going to stop this mob boss from taking control. Basic 1980s movies plot. And then they time travel, they're right there. They never, actually type in the coordinates. They never type in what time frame specifically, like 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock, like that. They're just typing in, October 5th, 1924. and then boom, they're right where they need to be. And they'll be in Arizona, and they're time traveling to New York. They never explain that, and I wonder how. I would just love to see a movie come out. They build the time machine, and they say, Detroit, Michigan, apartment A5. And if you hear the Knight Rider theme, that is a phone call I'm getting, and I'll call him back. But anyways, sorry that this podcast has been late. I've delayed the film because mainly I'm forgetting. Yeah. Sorry for that. What was I saying? Yeah, it's been delayed because mainly I've been forgetting and I've been lazy, so I apologize for that. The next one, I'm going to try to have someone else on the podcast here. And it'll probably be a voiceover thing, so it's going to be on my computer and start doing multiple people on one. But anyways, if you like what you see, future people watching this video, since this has 0 views, and I'm talking just a cell phone, yeah, I look crazy, regretting my life decisions. So check it out. I'm going to try posting every Friday or Saturday, and be pop culture stuff. Like today was Back to the Future. Maybe the next one will be about Batman. Maybe something about Call of Duty. Talk about pop culture and video games. That's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.